Yes, it's happening. The land of kimchi and K-pop is shaking off an age-old tradition, the consumption of dog meat. But why now? And what does this mean for the deeply embedded cultural history woven into every bite? Buckle up because we're diving into a hot-button topic that's got tongues wagging all over the world. South Korea's ban on dog meat consumption. Yes, you read that right. A centuries-old tradition just got the kibosh. And we're unpacking the whole story. Controversies, cultural shifts, and what it means for the future of animal welfare. So, grab your virtual snacks and let's dig in. A long and winding road. While the practice of eating dog meat in Korea dates back centuries, its prominence fluctuated throughout history. While some historians link its origins to the Neolithic period, it wasn't always a staple. During times of famine or food insecurity, consuming dog meat became a means of survival, not a cultural cornerstone. It wasn't until the 20th century, particularly after the devastation of the Korean War, that dog meat consumption surged in popularity. Limited food options and poverty fueled its rise, as it was relatively cheap and readily available. But alongside this practical element, the tradition gained traction due to evolving cultural beliefs. Some associated dog meat with stamina and virility, attributing its nutritional value to mythical properties. This narrative, however, lacked scientific backing and was more rooted in folklore than fact. Yet, it was this association with cultural identity and tradition that made the debate so complex. Many older generations viewed dog meat consumption as a part of their heritage, linked to memories of hardship and resilience. This added an emotional layer to the issue, making it difficult to simply categorize it as a matter of animal welfare. However, even as the practice persisted, a countercurrent of change began to flow. With rising living standards and increased exposure to global ideas, younger generations started challenging the tradition. The image of dogs primarily as loyal companions and cherished family members gained stronger footing. This shift in attitudes, coupled with growing concerns about animal cruelty and hygiene in the dog meat industry, created a fertile ground for change. The Great Political Debate. With the wind of public opinion shifting and international pressure mounting, the dog meat debate exploded into the heart of Korean politics. It wasn't just a battle of facts and figures, it became a clash of ideas, deeply woven into the fabric of national identity. Proponents of the tradition held the fort of cultural preservation. They argued that dog meat consumption was a part of Korea's unique culinary heritage, passed down through generations. They saw the issue as one of the personal choice, where individual preferences should be respected, even if they differed from global norms. Furthermore, some highlighted the economic hardships faced by dog farmers, emphasizing the need for alternative livelihoods if the industry were to shut down. Opponents of the practice rallied behind the banner of animal welfare. They documented the often brutal conditions endured by dogs raised for slaughter, exposing the inhumane practices and lack of regulations in the industry. They campaigned for animal rights, emphasizing the sentience and emotional capacity of dogs, drawing parallels to other beloved companion animals. Additionally, they pointed to the negative international image associated with dog meat consumption, arguing that it hindered Korea's global standing and tourism aspirations. The political scene resembled a tug-of-war, with different parties taking stances based on their constituencies and ideologies. Some advocated for complete abolition, while others proposed regulations aimed at improving animal welfare within the industry. The debate was fierce, often spilling onto the streets with protests and counter-protests, with both sides passionately defending their beliefs. It was a battle fought in courtrooms, with legal challenges and petitions against proposed bans. It was fought in the media, with heated discussions on talk shows and online forums. It was even fought in the hearts and minds of ordinary Koreans, as they grappled with conflicting values and cultural expectations. Ultimately, the tide began to turn. Younger generations, raised on international influences and animal welfare campaigns, increasingly disapproved of the practice. Their voices, amplified by social media and a growing global conversation about animal rights, started to drown out the traditional arguments. The economic viability of the dog meat industry dwindled as other protein sources became readily available. A turning point with Bite. In January 2024, the world watched with bated breath as the South Korean National Assembly took a monumental step. With a near-unanimous vote, they passed a groundbreaking bill, the ban on the breeding, slaughtering, and sale of dogs for meat. This wasn't just a legislative tick box, it was a seismic shift in the cultural landscape, a positive earthquake resonating across the globe. While the ban won't fully take effect until 2027, allowing existing farms to wind down, it marks a pivotal victory for animal rights activists and countless Koreans who'd long advocated for change. Imagine the cheers erupting outside the National Assembly, the tears of joy in the eyes of animal caretakers, the triumphant barks echoing through the streets, a moment etched in history. A collective sigh of relief after years of tireless efforts. This wasn't simply a legal victory, it was a cultural triumph. It signaled a generation shift, a society evolving toward a more compassionate understanding of its canine companions. No longer confined to the role of dinner, dogs were increasingly recognized as beloved members of the family, furry friends deserving of protection and respect. This turning point wasn't just about ending a controversial practice, it was about embracing a brighter future for both humans and animals. It signaled a willingness to learn from past mistakes, to acknowledge the suffering inflicted on countless dogs, and to chart a course towards a more ethical relationship with all living beings. However, let's not paint an overly rosy picture. Challenges remain. Existing dog farms still operate, and enforcing the ban effectively will be crucial. Transitioning farmers to new livelihoods require support and resources. Some within the older generation might still cling to traditional beliefs, requiring cultural bridges and understanding. A global ripple effect. The echoes of Korea's dog meat ban reverberate far beyond its borders, potentially triggering a global ripple effect in the fight for animal welfare. Let's dive into the intriguing possibilities. International inspiration. Korea's decisive action can embolden similar initiatives in other countries where dog meat consumption persists. Nations like Vietnam, China, and several Southeast Asian countries might find the Korean example a powerful catalyst for considering bans or stricter regulations. This domino effect could significantly reduce the global footprint of the dog meat trade, offering immense relief to countless animals. So there you have it, folks. The Korean dog meat ban is a complex story with historical roots, ethical dilemmas, and a hopeful glimpse into a future where compassion takes center stage. While the path ahead might be rough, there's no doubt that this decision marks our significant progress in the fight for animal welfare. Remember, change starts with awareness and open-mindedness. So, keep learning, keep asking questions, and keep your voices positive. Together, we can create a world where all creatures, big and small, can live safe and loved. And if you like this video, click the next one shown on the screen. I'm sure you'll love it. Thanks for watching.